A few miles from the heart of Mexico City lies La Isla de las Muñecas, the island of dolls, where thousands of dolls hang from the trees. The island of dolls sits in the canal south of Mexico City and is the current home of hundreds of terrifying, mutilated dolls. Their severed limbs, heads, and blank eyes adorn trees, fences, and nearly every available surface. The dolls appear menacing even in the bright light of midday, but in the dark, they appear particularly haunting. Local legend says that the dolls move their heads and arms and even open their eyes. Some witnesses claim that they have heard the dolls whispering to each other, while others who were on a boat near the island said that the dolls lured them to come down to the island.
And finally, there was the moment when the doll above me moved and I distinctly heard what sounded like one of the dolls saying, "Mama."
The story of the Island of Dolls begins in the 1950s. At that time, there was a man by the name of Julian Santana Barrera who decided to live his life as a recluse. He left his wife and family and moved to the island to live in solitude. His reasons for doing so were hazy at best, but it soon became clear that Barrera was not of sound mind. While on the island, Barrera alleged that he was haunted by the ghost of a little girl who had drowned in the nearby canal. He claimed to have heard the tormented cries of the girl and the sound of her footsteps in the night. Some believe that a girl did drown in the canal and that Santana Barrera found her body, but when he did find her, it was too late, and he was forever tormented by the fact that he couldn't save her. But others are of the opinion that this incident never happened, and that it was merely a figment of the hermit's imagination. Regardless of what others thought, Barrera decided to do something to appease the spirit of the girl. Some accounts claim that not long after the body of the girl was found, Barrera saw a doll floating in the canal. The doll may have belonged to the girl, and Barrera took it as a sign from the girl's spirit. He fished the doll out of the water and hung it on a tree as a sign of respect to the dead girl. Barrera did not stop there and continued to collect dolls for his island. The recluse collected dolls that were floating in the canals and looked for them in the rubbish heaps near his home. Moreover, he is said to have traded with the locals. In exchange for their dolls, he gave them the agriculture produce he was growing on his island. Once the dolls were obtained, Barrera would hang them on the island's trees. Santana Barrera displayed the dolls as he found them. He did not make any effort to clean them or to fix them up. Thus, many of the dolls are visibly damaged, some missing their heads, others a limb or two. Furthermore, exposure to the elements also caused the dolls to become disfigured over time. As a consequence, the dolls imparted a spooky aura to the island. Soon, stories were attached to these eerie dolls. Barrera was not afraid of the dolls and even regarded them as his protectors. In time, the unusual island attracted attention, and Barrera was glad to show curious visitors around the Island of Dolls. Santana Barrera died in 2001. According to some reports, he died of a heart attack. But the creepiest of all things is that most people say that he had drowned in the same area where he believed that the little girl had died. Some people believe that the girl's spirit finally overtook Barrera. After Santana Barrera's death, locals decided to maintain the Island of Dolls. The island has been featured in many articles and television programs, thus making it famous. It's a tourist attraction today, and those who visit the island often leave their own dolls there, which, in a way, is a continuation of Santana Barrera's work while he was still alive.